Hey guys, so today I want to talk about investing in the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon card sets as we move into the new era, the Mega era that will be releasing in September. I want to talk about reprints, the possibility of reprints, and investing in the Scarlet and Violet era sets because I really been thinking a lot, especially about with the Sam's Club release of the prismatic bundles and like supposedly like the surging spark bundles hitting Costco and all this stuff that's been going around. There are supposedly reprints of these sets, yet we all know that these are gonna fly off the shelves. So right now, Pokemon is still in some crazy hype where it's still impossible to find anything at retail. The distributors are completely cleaned out, and there's literally nothing upon release. And we're seeing really strange movement with the pricing of sets, where, like, for example, Destined Rivals, it didn't crash when it released. In fact, the prices are holding strong for sealed, which really surprised me. But that's a topic for another video. Today, we're talking about these Scarlet and Violet sets. So, without a doubt in my mind, they're definitely gonna keep printing these sets, right? We've seen announced reprints for Twilight Masquerade, Obsidian Flames, Paladin Fates, all these. They're gonna come in like booster models, booster boxes, all that. But if we think about it realistically, even if they get it out, they're getting these reprints out, right? But they're still focusing on printing the newest set. They're gonna be focused on printing the mega set at the maximum capacity. So how big a reprint could they really realistically do? It's not gonna be like how it was at the end of the Sword and Shield era when they were pumping out all this brilliant stars, all this astral radiance that no one wanted. Because right now they're printing at maximum capacity plus trying to do reprints. So we know these reprints are gonna fly off the shelves, but there's also no chance that they stop printing them. We've seen with super hype sets in the past, like Hidden Fates, that got printed for years, far beyond what people thought was a normal, acceptable reprint window where they could go back and print, because they can technically keep printing this stuff whenever they like. Like they could do whatever they want. It doesn't make sense after a while to reprint stuff, but they could do whatever they want. And we've seen it with really, really hype sets where they supposedly print them into the ground and then the prices crash for a while. And even Evolving Skies, you could get them at fairly cheap prices at some point within like 2022, 2023 when they're really getting reprinted. But these sets always recover. That's besides the point though. What I'm getting at is, will we really see this degree of the market, will we see the market ever reach this position again for these Scarlet and Violet sets where you'll be able to pick up those booster boxes at MSRP or lower, or maybe just above MSRP, somewhere in a reasonable range where you can comfortably pick up your 5-6 cases, sit on them for the next 10 years, where you want to get in at MSRP or lower or right around that ballpark. And in my mind, I think there's no chance that this doesn't happen, because with Pokemon, it's a cyclical market, and I believe they're just gonna keep printing on. They're gonna continue with the mega set, continue with their 30th anniversary celebration, keep on. All that's great, but eventually, when the hype settles down, I feel like there's gotta be a point where they keep printing, yet no one wants it anymore, and you will be able to pick it up. Because it just really doesn't make sense on why they would, like, if for sets like 151 in Prismatic, where the hype, there's so much demand, if they could print more, why not print more? And of course, they've got really smart people working at the Pokemon company, so they're probably thinking about all the factors. And so ultimately, we don't know what they think and why they make what choices. But if we're going based off of historically what has happened plus logical reasoning, they're almost certainly going to reprint it. And then if you couple that with the fact that the market, like everyone knows that this hype is impossible to run forever. For one reason or another, people, the scalpers, a bunch of the people, even the true genuine collectors will move on until the pool of Pokemon card buyers just shrinks, because that's just what happens in a cyclical market like this. With We see this time and time again. It doesn't really change, and we always see these times where product moves slower and you can buy whatever you want at distribution. The distributors are really rushed to get rid of their product because everything is sitting. And I think this will happen with the Scarlet and Violet sets as well. And you will get the opportunity to order whatever you want. Even if it's for a brief amount of time, a couple months, I believe it will happen. Because that's what I saw with the Sword and Shield. That's what I saw with Sun and Moon. So why wouldn't it happen again? So this means that, me personally, I would be comfortable selling any of the Scarlet and Violet sets I have. Especially like Destined Rivals, Journey Together, any of those boxes, I'm nearly 100% certain that if you continue to hold this, you're missing out on an opportunity to get at a lower price, because I just see no way newer sets, like if you're talking Destined Rivals at the prices right now, there's no way it doesn't receive a huge reprint, maybe in a couple months to a year, where when the demand has slowed for Pokemon as a whole, where the price doesn't just crash down. That's how I see it, especially for the newer sets like Journey Together and Destined Rival. For the sets like Scarlet Violet base, who knows if they'll actually reprint. I think they'll reprint it again, at least to some degree. And you'll likely be able to pick up any of the Scarlet and Violet sets at a reasonable price point again at some point in the future, if you're patient enough to wait for the hype to die down. But again, that could never happen, because in any market there could be anomalies, and also things just might change. Maybe the hype lasts so long that we're far past Scarlet and Violet. We're done with the mega era, and we're into the new era. So they're not gonna come back from mega and go print Scarlet and Violet again, right? That's a possibility. It's very slim, but you know, we never really know. So you can't really go listen to someone talk on YouTube and say, yeah, I'm gonna listen to them and sell all my investments, and if it never gets reprinted, then I'm gonna be extremely upset. If you want to sell your Scarlet and Violet investments now, or invest, if you want to call it an investment, since it's been such a short amount of time since they've been printed, you can go ahead and do that. And I probably will go ahead and do that, because I think it's a pretty great idea. Because really, I just don't see a world where these Scarlet and Violet sets don't get printed massively, especially with the big ones. Prismatic, especially. Prismatic is one of the ones that I'm almost certainly, I don't own a single Prismatic Evolutions product right now, and I will continue waiting until I can pick it up at an amazing price point. And I might be the fool who keeps waiting. Prismatic goes to $1,000 a pack, and I still own 0 Prismatic, but I'm perfectly fine with that, because there are always more opportunities, and in my opinion, I'd rather miss this opportunity than get in and lose money big on Prismatic, because losing money is just not fun, and I just don't want to do that. But I'm definitely willing to miss opportunities, because there's always more opportunities. So that's my personal opinion. That's why I'm willing to sell all my Scarlet Violet stuff. I'm pretty much willing to sell anything right now, because it will unlock the capital to buy something else once the market crashes. Whether it be the newest mega set that comes out in a year, I will put all the funds. I will sell everything you see here. Put all those funds into buying the newest mega set if it crashes to the crazy low prices where the distributors are begging me to take product. I will do that 100% because I don't really care what my money is in, from which set it is in, as long as it's a good opportunity. Like, I'm not fixated on whichever opportunities I'm missing, which is why I personally probably would sell all my Scarlet Violet investments, and I will work on that within the next couple months as the hype continues to shoot up, probably into the next year. I'll slowly move all this product and just wait for the opportunities to come. So that's just my personal opinion on these. The reprints will come, especially on the huge hype sets like Prismatic. We already see them coming, but likely with the Sam's Club drops, the Costco drops, I don't think, well, everyone could probably, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that it's not really going to affect the market prices on these products right now. If so, maybe like a couple dollars per pack, maybe $1 or $2 dip per pack for a month while the product gets quickly flipped. But other than that, not a huge detriment. Anyone who's holding Prismatic for the next year probably doesn't need to worry. But I think the day will come at some point in the future, near future even, within next year or two. I think many of Scarlet Violet sets will come crashing down. And again, I could be wrong, but just if we look at the past historical patterns, it's very likely that we'll be able to pick these up at amazing prices and hold them. And so, if you want to take away from this video, if you don't currently have any Scarlet and Violet sets, any of the booster boxes, any ETBs, you don't really need to go out and buy them. You're not missing out on anything, because you will get a better opportunity at some point. And even if you're missing out, so what? Honestly, it's just such a big risk to buy a Destiny Rivals booster box at $300, $400, and for that to crash down to $100, $150, rather than just waiting. And if you miss it, you just buy the mega set when it crashed. If the mega set number 7 crashes to $100 a box, $80 a box, just buy that. There's no point in rushing into these Scarlet and Violet investments, because there's always more opportunities. So if you currently hold Scarlet and Violet like I do, you have a couple boxes, couple ETBs, tins, whatever, I would personally sell. But if you hold, you're not going to do bad. It's not really possible to do bad holding, because eventually they'll recover no matter what. But I would probably sell based on the just vast likelihood that the prices do come crashing eventually. So just the key takeaway, don't rush into any Scarlet and Violet investments if you have nothing right now. And if you do have some, consider selling it. You don't have to. You'll do fine either way. But definitely don't buy into anything at the moment, because even though the reprints are looking grim now, at some point in the near future, we will see these Scarlet Violet sets at great prices. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. That's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about reprints. If you think that we'll be able to actually invest in these sets at reasonable prices, at comfortable prices, yeah, subscribe to join the journey, guys.